Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Geology 101. Today we are covering Section 2, Plate Tectonics. So let's get started. First section, we're going to cover the development of plate tectonic theory. And what does this mean? So before we get into plate tectonics, it's useful to talk about some of the older ideas about how the Earth might work and how it might have formed. One idea here is the contracting Earth idea. So the Earth was hot when it first formed. Slowly it would have cooled over time. As it cooled, it would have condensed down. For this, you might think of a grape that slowly becomes a raisin. Parts of the Earth would have gotten sunk lower, and parts of it would have risen higher, and this would explain something about the topography of the Earth, why we have high mountains and these low ocean basins. There are a few problems with this idea. First, that it doesn't really explain any sort of horizontal motion. And there was physical evidence in the geology, for example, in the Alps in Europe, that very, very strongly suggested a sort of horizontal motion to Earth materials. Another problem here is a little bit more subtle. It has to do with the elevation. So this contracting Earth idea sort of presupposes that there is some kind of average elevation for the entire Earth. And some parts are higher and some parts sink lower, but there would have been this average. And this is actually not the case. There's something similar to this, where you have an average elevation for the continents and an average elevation for the oceans, but not something that would cover the entire Earth. So the first individual to really present a challenge to this, something of a radically new idea for how Earth processes worked, was this man, Alfred Vigner. He was a German scientist, kind of a do-it-all, who claimed that continents were slowly drifting around the surface of the Earth, something that he called Continental Drift. And he supported his idea with actually a lot of evidence, everything from the geometry of the continents to fossil evidence to the geology. And in fact, even produced this. This is his map of the world before the continents had drifted into their current positions. All the continents come together into one big supercontinent called Pangaea. Ultimately, though, there was a problem with his ideas. He could not explain what was moving the continents. In my mind, this question is called, where's the bulldozer? What is forcing the continents to move like this? Vigner did not have an explanation for this. Stick around for section 2. We're going to go in detail about the sorts of evidence Vigner put together to support his ideas.